want to see you in the other room now.
Oh. Oh, I know why she wants to see you in the other room. Oh, but don't worry, I ain't gonna listen. Just like I ain't listened last night. Grab my ears. What's my name? What's my name?
What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to another episode of The Fifth Flow, where we go ahead and actually give a perspective, respective, retrospective insight into all things Martin. One of the best shows of the 90s, one of my true loves of television. And I'm hoping that you're going to actually stick around for everything because I go ahead and actually go into perspectives, script things, things that you may not have noticed in there, cast rundown of people that premiere, made their acting debuts, little tidbits, trivia, all these types of things, and my insight into this particular episode of Martin. Today, we're going to go and actually review season 1, episode 9, Baby It's Cold in Here. And that is one of those ones where you can, one of the things I will go and actually tell you that I absolutely love about this episode is we go and actually get our first and only appearance of one called Big Shirley. And if you are a true Martin fan, that's one where it just got more and more outrageous. But we're going to go ahead and actually get to that. Foremost, I like to go and actually give a perspective of what the world, what the U.S. was going through culturally and things like that when this episode premiered on October 22nd, 1992. But if you don't want to do all that and you want to just get straight to the episode, look below. I'll have a timestamp on when you could go and actually fast forward to, and you can get the full breakdown of the episode. For all the rest of you, I'll give you that vibe that you're looking for of what this episode premiered against. On a global perspective, we actually still had a lot of different things going on with the war in Sarajevo and a lot of other things going on major that I've already talked about in previous episodes. So if you really want to break down some of the other things that are going on, check out some of those other episodes. But what actually happened in the weeks leading from episode 8 to episode 9, we had a major earthquake that actually occurred in Colombia on October 18th. It was actually a 7.2 magnification on the Richter scale. And it happened in northwest Colombia. And the epicenter was actually in a remote region, but it caused significant damage. And you actually felt it as far as Bogota or Panama City. So that happened October 18th. Domestically, we actually had a tragic shooting of Yoshihiro Hotori. I think that's how you pronounce it. Here in the U.S. There's a 16-year-old Japanese exchange student that was shot and killed in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And after knocking on the wrong door while looking for a Halloween party, the gentleman got shot. Incident sparked an international outrage and eventually became a catalyst for more gun control activism in the U.S. and Japan. I would love to say that really stuck and that there were a reduction of gun deaths in America, but we're here about 30, 40 years later, and that's still not really much of a thing, but that was a significant event that actually happened here domestically. Turning it over to sports, the major thing that was going on is the beginning of the 1992 World Series between the Toronto Blue Jays and Atlanta Braves, where the series was actually played almost entirely in that week from episode 8 to episode 9, where almost the entire series, and it went to a 7-game series. And the fact that all that when actually played out in that particular week or what have you was actually pretty significant, what have you. But that's what we actually have on the news front. Let's take a look at some of the culture aspects of things. In the music scene, not much really changed from the previous episode. Top 5 Billboard songs at the time. Number 5, She's Playing Hard to Get by High Five. Number 4, Jump Around by House of Pain. Number 3, Humping Around by Bobby Brown. Number 2, Sometimes Love Just Ain't Enough, Patti Smith and Don Henley. And keeping and sustaining its number 1 reign, End of the Road by Boyz II Men. However, in the movie scene, we actually had a couple of new movies jump on, as well as some reoccurring ones that had already appeared in the top 5. Number 5 was Consenting Adults with Kevin Kline. Number 4, the horror classic Candyman with Tony Todd. Number 3, The Mighty Ducks. Number 2, Last of the Mohicans. And for a second week in a row, Under Siege. So that's just a brief synopsis of all the news, culture, sports, all that kind of stuff that this particular episode of Martin was premiering. So now you got a vibe of the world. Let's dive off into getting more information about this particular episode. Episode 9 again, titled Baby It's Cold in Here, premiered October 22nd, 1992. Had a runtime of 23 minutes. It was directed by Tony Singletary and had the writing credits for Jane Milmore and Billy Van Zandt. It had a rating of 15.6 million. Synopsis for the episode goes like this. Cole takes Martin's advice to send to his mother and then comes to Martin for help when she kicks him out. So automatically we have a situation where Cole's mom, who has premiered in the previous episode, now has kicked him out. And as a young man, still living with his mama and all that kind of stuff, we have a potential there for some comedy, maybe some cameos, all that kind of good stuff. Let's see what happens when we dive into this. As is the usual for a Martin episode in this early stage, we have the monologue, which is one of his actual better monologues. In this particular one, Martin is actually talking about the aspect of your woman eating off your plate. And everything is all about, I love my woman, everything, this, and that. But the one thing I am not going to allow her to do is eat off my plate. And it's absolutely hilarious because anybody that's been in any type of relationship and you have, woman's concern on there, they will eat off your plate. And I like Martin's take on this. I'm not going to lie. It was absolutely funny. It is actually one of his funnier monologues to me or what have you. So let's go ahead and actually listen to the monologue before we go ahead and actually see the actual episode.
Came to the realization that my affection for this woman is so strong that if necessary, I would die for her. Climb any mountain, all for the love of this woman. But I will not, and I repeat, I will not let her eat off my plate. Babe, if you ever try it again, somebody could get hurt. I love you.
All right. So now, first scene is set in Martin's apartment. And I'm going to say this off rip. There's only 2 scenes, 2 settings in this particular episode. There's Martin's apartment, and then we go and actually go briefly to the radio station, and then the rest of it is in Martin's apartment, just at different time frames and things like that. So this is a location minimized situation where either we're at Martin's apartment, one little scene, and radio station. But in the opening scene, we actually have Martin cooking breakfast for Gina. And cooking is probably a little generous when in actuality it's really just a microwave meal. But him going and actually just putting his creme de la creme access to it, and that's basically that he turned it every few minutes or what have you. Just go and actually get right.
Oh, baby, Hungry King breakfast, and you heated it up all by yourself.
That's right. And it wasn't easy, babe, because you got to turn it every 2 minutes.
Like my guy, you probably could have did more, making some eggs, bacon, and toast or what have you for you and not have the microwave. But I digress because I'm not really much of a cook myself. But it's funny to see him go and put in that effort to make something for his woman and all that kind of stuff. So that's a good thing. And actually, one of the things I go and actually call here is that he made Tang for her. For those of you that are younger than 30 years old, Tang, just be thankful that y'all never had to drink Tang. I don't know why they did that to us. Tang is such a powdery orange juice substitute. Just was not great, but we had to deal with that, back in the day. And I think Tang was all the way up until like the early 2000s or what have you. But I digress. Go ahead and keep it going. What have you. As Martin is done preparing a meal and him and Gina go back and forth or whatever, Tommy and Cole enter and them going and actually talking about Cole has actually been relaying to Tommy what's been going on, all that kind of good stuff. So Cole wants to go ahead and actually tell Martin what he's been telling Tommy on the way on over there, but he can't quite do it because Gina's still in the room. So we got to go ahead and actually get her on out of there because this is a man thing. It's a man thing.
Oh, I get it. It's a man thing. It's a man thing. That's not right.
So once Gina goes ahead and actually leaves, it's so hilarious because Martin sits there and promises her to make her some more meals, and it's like, I don't think she really wants any more microwave food. But anyways, digress. So now it's just the fellas, and they sit up there where Cole is actually talking to Martin and Tommy about interaction that he had last night. He's at his home. Obviously, he lives with his mama. Mom's was out one night. He's go ahead and actually, get his little swerve on with Big Shirley, as we know, trying to go ahead and actually round on bases. And then mom comes on and kicks in, and then actually says, like, I know you don't have somebody up in here when you've been late on your rent paying on there. And the fact that Cole makes a decision that instead of like standing up, either like tell mom to chill, hey, I'll talk to you later, or anything like that, what any normal person would go and actually do, he goes and actually kicks Big Shirley out to appease his mom, which it is his mom's house. But let's just be real. That's one of the situations be like, hey, mom, I don't want to embarrass the girl that I'm with on here. It's like, I will talk to you come out of it. I will, she's just getting ready to leave or what. There's ways to handle that, Cole. You gotta stand up for yourself. And that's kind of like what Martin and Tommy wanted to do, but instead they decide to go down the route of showing what Cole should have actually done when his mom busted in.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Come on, Shirley. Just a peek. I never seen one before.
Wait. Cole's door is closed. Oh, wait a minute. That must mean... Cole! What is going on in here? You are 2 weeks behind on your rent, and you have got the nerve to have some guest in here?
Shirley, it's my mom's. Take the paper bag off your head. Now, moms. Yeah. Shut up and listen. See, what did you say? What, excuse me, did you say something? Oh, all right, I didn't think you were talking back. Yeah. See, I'm a man, right? With a man's needs. And what I need right now, all right, is a big bone security officer named Shirley.
Cole, what has come over you? For the first time, you're not talking to me like a chump.
Yeah, that's because I'm a man. Now get out there and make me a sandwich. Yeah. What, you still here? I sit down.
Okay, I'm sorry, Cole. It'll never happen again.
And stay out.
Yes.
But you're showing your friend that ain't got it all. You already know that he ain't. He gonna take it literally. So they go and actually show him. They go and actually put on this facade. And I understand, guys, we gonna go and actually talk or whatever. But when you tell that to your dim-witted friend, you think that you might want to tell them that, hey, we're just playing or whatever. There's something that, and then you kind of add on and give them context. But they didn't do that. There's also a weird thing at the end of this. The crowd like clapped.
Nico, that's all there is to it.
For how it was, because it's like I think that they were saying that it was funny, but also feel like, was it kind of like guys sitting up there thinking like, oh, that's how you should talk to your mama when something like that. I don't know. I just think that was a little weird at the end of that whole thing. But Cole is now emboldened, and he feels like, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and actually next time that whole situation comes up, I now got something to fight back with. We'll see how that works out. We already got the title of the show, but we move off of Martin's apartment. And we go to the radio station. And the radio station, Martin is just signed off. And it's just a little dialogue between him and Stan. And Stan telling Martin on how, Martin tells Stan that he's had an issue that his friend Cole is having issues with his mom or what have you. And Stan tells Martin on how he treats his mom. And it's just the most Stan thing ever.
That I may be in high school now, but in 30 years, I'm gonna be the one to pick out your nursing home. So you treat me right and it'll be Shady Acres. If not, you'll be picking up cans out there on the side of the highway.
And what happened to your mother, man?
Oh, she's doing great. I waved to her the other day as I was driving by on the highway. I even threw her a few cans.
And when you get somebody to go ahead and actually tell you that type of thing, and then he adds on to it, just... all I know is I would never get advice from Stan on anything. Maybe how to go ahead and actually pinch pennies, but that's about it. Don't get any life lessons from Stan. It's not great, right? But that's where we cut it in the radio station scene. And now we're gonna go back to Martin's apartment. But going back to Martin's apartment, and I love the fact that Martin and Gina are, again, they're supposed to be like in their mid to late 20s, maybe late 20s. I think they were like their mid 20s in this scenario. And I just love how, you playing around and like that. They got their super soakers. Although it's a 1-bedroom apartment, there ain't really too many places to hide up in there. And that's what made that kind of a little nonsensical, but at the same time, if you know your person's places like that, you could probably find nooks and crannies and kind of move around or whatever like that. But it was actually fun to see them having fun with each other and using the super soakers again, showing you that they are having fun, they like being around each other, all those types of things. This is a series that is built again on the foundation of Martin and Gina's love, and I keep on saying that in all of my episodes because it's just the core values and the core things of what we loved about the Martin show and why it kept building in popularity. Just little scenes like this was actually fun. But anyways, as they go and actually get done with their little battle, hear a little knock on the door. Cole going actually coming on over, and with Martin and Gina, and they said like, oh, we just testing out some super soakers for my nephew. Now we could do that as a throwaway line, and I'm perfectly fine to do that. But I harken back to episode 1 when you folks think that Martin is the only kid of Mama Payne. But again, she said that she had multiple kids on there because
Out of all my kids, you my favorite. Look so much like your father.
because of all of her kids, he was her favorite. Now here we also again have a nephew thing. Cole has been a part of Martin's life since, if I'm not mistaken, it was like grade school or middle school or what have you. So he knows if he's an only child or not. And if him going actually using the nephew excuse could be just a throwaway line, or if you wanted to go ahead and actually just say like he was just being funny or what have you to throw off Cole because Cole is dumb or what have you. But I think it's just another little tidbit to go and actually say that technically Martin was not an only child. And then it begs the question, where was his brothers and sisters throughout this entire series? But I digress. I'm going to let that be on its own. So anyways, Cole going actually just relaying his story of he was in a very similar circumstance of being with a woman. Moms came home and he kind of acted out and did the same stuff that Tommy and Martin went and actually acted out to him. Didn't quite go over like he thought it would because it wouldn't. Why would it ever go over like that?
Couldn't, because right after that, she kicked my butt out the house.
Sorry, Cole.
Sorry.
Well, that's cool. I mean, it's all right, because I got my self-respect.
Right.
And I owe it all to you, man. I owe it all to you.
All right, man. Peace. Well, if we got his respect, I mean, but...
So where do I...
And so now you got Cole staying with you. Annoying person, you don't want somebody like that staying with you. But now we got a time lapse. We don't know how much time has passed on here. My presumption is like maybe a couple of days or so that Martin has permitted Cole staying with him in his apartment. Now again, Gina doesn't live exclusively with Martin, okay? So she can go to her own place or what have you, but she comes over there enough that, Cole being over there is going to cause an issue. And when Martin and Gina are sitting up there watching this film or what have you, it's one of those things of you have someone that's annoying being in the house all the time and like that, and it's gonna get on your nerves. It just absolutely will. And I completely understand, snapping out because I don't like nobody in my space or what have you. And the fact that he went in and actually made himself like comfortable where he's, changing the channels while they watching this, sitting on the couch while we, hugged up and booed up, like, dog, back up, get some space. There's another chair over there. Like, way better things to go and actually do. Somebody's just annoying that they don't even know they're annoying or what have you. So the voiceover that we go and actually hear when they're sitting there watching the film is actually a voiceover work by David Workman. It was a TV announcer. He did a lot of voiceover work in the 80s and 90s, most notably in Transformers and Where's Waldo TV series.
Gathered you all here today because I have found the killer of Lord Barrington. It is someone in this room. And that someone is none other than...
The juice blender is just $19.95.
I'm sorry, man. I thought it was the volume.
That's right, just $9.95. But wait, there's more.
That is the volume, man.
Look, it's over.
Sorry.
Martin, we just watched 2 hours of that for nothing.
And also how you been in his house, and you've come over to Martin's house plenty of times on there, so you know how his TV operates, and you're gonna click the TV up. Just all kinds of stuff on there just kind of pisses me off. Then telling Gina like she should put stuff on like, hey, get me something out the fridge. Don't you think you need to go and actually pick this up? All that kind of stuff is crazy. And then, of course, the whole thing on him hearing them, the previous night.
Martin, I want to see you in the other room now.
Oh, I know why she wants to see you in the other room. Oh, but don't worry, I ain't gonna listen. Just like I ain't listened last night. Grab my ears. What's my name? What's my name?
Yeah, that's one of the things that they'd be like, all right, dude, just nah. No, it's like, you do it too much, my guy. And the fact that he wants to go ahead and actually flip it on to, like, hey, we get a shout out going back to King Beef. There's another, because of course, Cole would care about King Beef. He was the one that actually brought him up. We've had a previous deal with King Beef. This is a second showing on Martin's show or what have you. And I love it because King Beef is a doctor in this one for some reason. And they're fleeing Godzilla. So is it a Godzilla movie or is it a King Beef? So is it a crossover? I don't know. It's crazy because we get the King Beef and we get the King Beef stuff.
Dr. King Beef! Godzilla has burned half the countryside. We must flee! We must flee!
Yes, you are so right. We must flee to America before Godzilla gets to the airport. But first, I must die!
And of course, with all this, Gina has, she's upset. And we get all this kind of stuff on there. She's like, look, I need to get up out this place. I don't want to see Cole's face or anything like that. We just need to get out for a little bit. They went to go to a movie. And that makes sense. So we transition that Martin and Gina are returning from the movies. And it's like, yep, they're feeling good, coming on back out in the hallway. Martin sits there and says, hey, we got out the house and I got to see Robin Givens in her panties, which y'all know that obviously was Boomerang that they went to go see, which came out in 1992. So this is actually fresh, all that kind of stuff. And of course, Boomerang, Martin was in that. And so was Tisha. So zeitgeist meta, whatever you want to go and actually call it. But that was the thing, right? When they go on, they go and actually enter. And what's going on? Full on party. Now, in the 90s, again, people don't have cell phones. Okay, people got beepers. Cell phones like that. So you got to call up people in order for, because these people were thinking that this was Cole's place, right? So he's put this on that this is his spot. And called up all these people. Like, you got about a good 20 something people up in here, men and women, all this kind of stuff, just kicking it too. And so much so they had enough time to go and actually get a stripper. The logistics on this random house party is crazy. And I don't even know how it happened. And of course, as is the typical thing that happens with parties and stuff, it gets way out of hand and people doing all kinds of things. Now, a couple people that go ahead and actually show in this scene, we actually have a few different character actors. We have Dwayne Kennedy as the cat that's talking about the stripper that's supposed to be going actually showing up.
Do you mind if I videotape the stripper? What? You don't get it, do you? Let's go out. Let's go out. Yeah, all right. Well, we're not paying for the stripper.
He's a character actor that appeared in various different TV and movie projects over the years. His most notable character was probably playing Israelite in How High. And his last project was on the series Mouse on Mars. Another person that you're going to go and actually notice in here was Tommy Morgan.
Hey, strippers here. Strippers here.
Tommy Morgan has appeared in TV and movie projects since the 80s. He actually appeared in episodes of Law and Order and Living Single, but I most notably directed and saw him for playing the referee in I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. That actually cracked me up or what have you. And the person who's unaccredited, who's probably the most notable person that when actually showed up, was Ken Sagos. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but
Hey, why you gotta break Cole's vase? Can't we all just get along?
he actually, of those that are like Gen X and maybe older millennials and baby boomers, whatever, if you're a fan of the Nightmare on Elm Street series, he actually played Kincaid in both Nightmare on Elm Street 3 and 4. And he actually has appeared in plenty of different TV series, including playing 22 episodes in What's Happening Now, which is significant because, again, Martin Lawrence, what have you. So this man has actually has some acting credits, but he's unaccredited in this particular role. He's actually still out there doing his stuff. He's actually an award-winning writer of short films. So Ken Sagos in this whole scene on there, he plays, why can't we all just get along? He's that guy in this particular scene, and just for such a small role in Martin's series, and he's had connections to Martin and what have you. I found that kind of crazy. But anyways, as time goes on, Martin and Gina are back, and Martin is clearing people out of his house because like the disrespect, the ridiculousness. Because Cole is actually in the back in the bedroom. So you in the bedroom, you disrespect my place. So he's clearing people out, getting the hell folks up out of there and stuff like that. Cole comes from out the back, and he's with Big Shirley. Here's where we have Big Shirley on screen for the first time. And this is a woman that if you see her right here, right? She's like in her like 30s. I would say she's like in her late 30s because Cole makes a mention that she's got kids my age. So within that, that, she's, like middle-aged woman, but she's not ridiculous big. She's got a little bit of thickness to her, but she ain't ridiculous big. But later in the series, we know that the tale of Big Shirley just goes and gets gargantuan, but this is how she appears. And Martin tells her to go ahead and actually get on out. And then he gets at Cole, talks to him like he is daddy or his mama, of disrespecting his place. And
Yo, Cole, you got a lot of growing up to do, man. All right, you know what? I see why your mother threw you out, man. Yo, you're a freeloading pain in the ass, and I'm only telling you that because I love you.
And at first, Cole couldn't go and actually wrap his mind around it. Like, how dare you talk to me like that? He's like, dude, this is my place. You disrespected my place or what have you. And we have the whole thing of Martin being like, you started this by not giving your guy context in the very beginning. And so you push it to this level. But shout out for him going and actually telling his friend finally what's real and kind of keeping it to him. And then as Martin is kind of like upset and what have you, and the door's still open from Martin kicking everybody out, Cole's mom appears, and it's because Gina called her, got her on over here. Again, this ain't the land of like cell phones or anything like that. So her to get on over there real quick like that, was crazy. But Cole and his mom have a heart-to-heart about, maybe he's like, oh, I do need to go and actually get on my own, which we know eventually somewhere in this series that Cole does eventually get his own place. That's going to be an awesome episode to visit of him being in his first place. But until that time, staying with his moms, and his moms loves him. And as us black folks know, when your moms go and actually come over and see like somebody ain't living right.
I want you to leave your stuff here till we have time to shake everything out. Because I think the boy got roaches.
She ain't on that, and like that ain't getting brought back to my house, what have you. So Cole and his mama leave. Gina and Martin come on back out and kind of see like, hey, everything has happened, everything has died down or whatever. And everything's pretty much done, wrapped up into this one. Last thing we go is that stripper that was mentioned earlier by the coworker, that stripper actually shows up.
Great. I'm the stripper you ordered. I don't normally do this for couples, but hey, whatever turns you on.
Played by Lori Marlowe as a stripper. She was an actress from the 70s through the 90s. She has 17 credits to her name. This Martin credit was like her second to last episode. After that, she had become an author, motivator, speaking, all that kind of stuff. And that's where she kind of lives at right now. And so it was a cute little cameo for her. But we end, and that's where it is. Everything kind of wraps up. So what did I think about this episode? For the writing of this, writing was really good. There were some nice jokes in there. I liked the monologue aspects of things. I liked how we connected back to just a constant thread of like your guys trying to help you out in different situations on there, but not really feeling understanding and kind of really kind of vibing with what's going on there. The other aspects of writing, there were some good jokes in there. Obviously, seeing King Beef, it was ridiculousness again. And the callback of like Cole's mom being real and all that kind of stuff. I like the writing on that. The acting was fine. Comedic aspects of things on there. We see like Martin and Gina doing their things on there. Tommy and Martin's acting of like how he should have acted with his mama was hilarious. That was a good thing on there. I would say overall, decent, solid episode. Not great. Now, there's the biggest thing on this one for culturally is seeing Big Shirley on the screen. And that's where we go in as Martin fans and we kind of see that jumping off. And that was absolutely a thing. This is one of those solid episodes. So that's all I have for Baby It's Cold in Here. Hopefully you liked what you heard, you seen, all that kind of good stuff. Did you like what I laid down on there? Did you have, how did this episode kind of rate out to you? I think it was a solid one. And then that, again, I'd say the whole thing with Big Shirley is kind of like the biggest thing that kind of point out here. But if you liked any of this, do me a favor, click like, share, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. Continue on this journey. I love speaking on Martin, and we're going to just keep it going. But it comes that time where you know what you got to do. Can't help it.
I've been waiting to say this all year, and I'm gonna say it. And this is a good time. Get the stepping. Now, don't you feel tough?
Yeah.
Don't you feel strong?
Yeah.
Don't you feel like going home?
Sure.
Then get the hell out of my apartment and take back up a taste. No, just a taste. Just give me some room. Okay, the door's gonna slam about now.